Welcome back once again. I had only noticed one or two birthdays this month, but apparently there's three. But, I guess that's besides the point. This time, we're just going to be going back to exploring and. Excuse me. Just starting to do the monthly stuff that at least I typically do when I play. Though, I guess with a little bit of difference, I will go ahead and say that there has been a request for, while I have never personally done it, to try to get everyone that I can, recruit every single person in 3 houses. Will I be able to do it? I don't actually know. Again, I have never managed to be able to do this myself. Will I try? I absolutely will. I'm going to do everything I can to do that, which means that I think I'm going to dip into mission assistance. Ask help from students outside your house, and that person will join you for battles and missions until the end of the month. Oh, hi, Sophis.
You have spent quite some time in here, engaging in such idle chatter. Do you not know that we have not a moment left to waste? You must try harder from now on.
I don't remember what we need to haste so much for, but I'm going to go ahead and grab these and grab these. I'm probably going to speed through this or cut this out, but I'm going to real quick do a little bit of inventory management. It's not something you really need to worry about, but I'm going to move things around, and I'm going to go ahead and I'll go ahead and show just for these 4 items raise stats, and they're pretty good too. Raise HP by 7. I don't think I need to worry about that too much, so I could probably give that to someone else. Raise Strength by 3. I'm going to give that to Byleth in order to increase Byleth's strength so that it's easier for me to get someone to join. And increase Speed by 3, which, again, I'm going to use on Byleth in order to make it easier for other students to want to join. This increases movement speed by 2. I'm going to worry about that with someone else. So, I'll be back in a minute. We'll see what editing me decides to do with this. Alright, that didn't take too long. I just didn't want to waste your time is all. I went ahead and gave everyone everything. I gave Raphael a concoction instead of Vulnerary, because I think it's all I had, but I'm not 100% certain. I also gave Raphael the +7 to HP, and then I gave Hilda the +2 to movement, and I'm sure it'll become more obvious as we continue, but for now, let's go ahead and see what we can do in the monastery now. I typically start in the training grounds, because, at least for the most part, that's just talking to people. Oh, a lost item. Oh, okay. This is a mechanic that I both struggle with and don't at the same time. Basically, you'll find items scattered throughout the monastery, and it'll give you a little hint as to who it might belong to. Excuse me. If you bring it to the correct person, it'll increase your support with them. That is part of the reason why Hilda is so difficult to recruit in other routes, is Hilda, you cannot give her any of her lost items. I don't entirely know why, but you've never really been able to do anything. And it's just... It's a little frustrating, but for this one we have a tattered overcoat. An overcoat with many holes and tears. It probably belongs to someone who often finds themselves in fights. That's a little vague, but not too bad. Wooden button. A button that seems to have popped off a man's shirt. It probably belongs to someone with a large physique. That one's a little less subtle. Oh, apparently I missed them.
Here to train? You really are as hardworking as they say. Huh, maybe the gossip's wrong. Hardworking people usually don't like to make a big fuss about it.
You just don't know.
Catherine, Her skill is impressive, I'll admit. So is her sword. But I think she's hiding something. Nobody knows anything about her past. You should spar with her. She's strong. Stronger than you are, I'd bet. Join me for some training sometime. I'm interested in your sword technique. I might like to become your student someday. But not today.
Close. Speed and sword. That's fine.
Lord Lonato must know that his efforts are futile, yet he can't help but fight. If I were in that situation, I would do whatever it took to ensure victory. You can count on that.
Something about this situation doesn't feel right. Why would a minor lord raise an army against a foe he cannot possibly hope to defeat?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I'm studying here so I could be the best there is, just like Captain Gerald. Do you think I've got it in me to be a top-tier mercenary, Professor?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to work a lot harder than all the fancy nobles around here, I can tell you that.
Has this opened up yet? I guess not. Who's in here? Ah, Ferdinand.
I heard about your class's assignment, by the way. Good luck subduing those treasonous nobles.
I'm going to, and I'm going to double check.
Professor, here to recruit me, well, the eldest son of...
Is an interested dexterity and heavy armor. Dexterity isn't as much of an issue. Heavy armor, though, I have no reason to raise that. So, I'm going to ask Ferdinand to join on a mission. It won't really help up until the end of the month, I don't think. But, despite that, it'll still be easier to recruit him because I can raise support. Top fishing spots. A list of the places where fish are most likely to gather in the fishing pond. Someone put a lot of thought into this. Oh, come on. Let's see. Claude.
First that bandit business, and now a noble rebellion? Are we ever gonna do anything but find and subdue people? Well, if we're just going to tie up loose ends, at least it'll be pretty safe. I don't mind stretching my legs for this one. And if Catherine's going too, there's a good chance we'll get a look at her relic in action. Can I ask you a favor?
Investigate stories about Abyss. Maybe the traveling merchants who come and go know something about the place. I'm going to. I mean, I don't know why I wouldn't. I said that a little weird. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go talk to this guy and then head south. this guy. It's Mercedes and Annette.
To be honest, I felt a bit lost here at the monastery. At a loss for what to do. Thankfully, a sweet young girl reached out and offered her help. I believe she's Seth's little sister.
Flame does seem to do that pretty often.
Huh? You think I would be a good fit for your class? I'm not sure. There's still a lot I want to learn.
Isn't interested, and I need magic and faith.
I've heard whispers about Lord Lonato. They say he's a very kind and gentle lord. Why would such a kind man suddenly raise an army? Oh, Professor, you were working late last night, weren't you? You shouldn't overdo it. A
Thanks,
ghost might
Mercedes.
rise up from the well to get you if you stay up too late. Or so I'm told. I have a favor to ask of you.
I could do that. Ooh, oh yeah. Oh, that's right.
You want me to join your class? Well, I'm already having so much fun in my current class.
Magic and bow. Less likely to use bow, but it's fine. Seems like some... Well, that's just obvious. I'll talk to this guy.
Professor,
Dorothea.
are you going to fight alongside the Knights of Seros? Let me know if you meet anyone I might be interested in, okay?
Subtle.
I do find you very interesting, Professor. I'm just not sure if it's enough to change classes. Let me think.
Is it interested? Charm and authority. Alright, let's start heading south.
What about... Professor, have you seen Felix around? I swear, as soon as you take your eyes off him, poof, he's gone. Of course he's there. Sorry for bothering you, Professor. Thanks.
No problem. I was about to ask if I could recruit. I'm a bit of an idiot sometimes. Oh my gosh, my phone is going off again and again because the charger's weird.
The king of Fargus's older brother when he was younger, or something like that. He already had status and prestige, so why raise a rebellion? I guess it's none of my business.
Probably. Whoop. Camera. Here we go. And now for the dining hall. Linhardt.
Professor, I feel I must speak to you about Caspar's eating habits. I've never seen the like of it. He inhales entire plates of food in mere seconds. Hence my mentioning it to you. Good luck with him.
Well, I mean, that's fair.
Huh? Your class? I can see the appeal, yes. However, I still have a lot of books I wish to read in this class. But talk to me again, okay?
That doesn't sound like someone who's not interested. Magic and reason.
Today's meal was delicious. Linhardt keeps bothering me about eating too fast. Says I'm gonna choke or something. Absolutely! I knew you'd see things my way.
I see things both ways.
Hey, Professor. Here to cause some trouble? No? Well, whatever then.
It's so standoffish. Strength is pretty good at least. Sorcery Book. Someone who went to that school. That, I believe, is Annette's.
I'm sorry, but I must vent to someone, Professor. You're familiar with Manuela's slovenly behavior, yes? That woman. She borrowed a book last week and returned it with stains of unknown origin on the cover and several pages either folded or torn. Just now, she dropped a sandwich on the floor, picked it up, and kept eating. When she saw my shock, she said simply, 3-second rule. Ugh.
Yeah,
If
Manuela.
you have a moment, I would like a word. It has been brought to my attention that certain individuals have been making advances toward Flame. Have you witnessed any such behavior? If you see anything similar in the future, please inform the perpetrators of their peril.
Seth is pretty protective of Flame, you know? Wonder why that could be. I mean, Flame seems pretty capable herself. I'm gonna start with this. Well, hey, Raphael.
Hey, Professor. Do you happen to have any food on you? I'm starving. No matter how much I eat before I train, I'm always so hungry after. My muscles must be going through a growth spurt.
That must be it, Raphael. No other reason.
This flower is one that is eating insects. Is that factual too? I am wondering who watches over the plants in Fodlan.
Training has given me great busyness right now. It is not a good time for the chatting.
But you have given me intrigue. Please make sure you are speaking with me again.
I'm getting blown up right now. I need to just everyone needs to stop. Ugh. Is there anything for me to pick up? Nope. Okay.
If
Hello,
the flowers
Flame.
within the greenhouse are removed, they will soon wilt and wither. Is that not so, Professor? I feel I can empathize with them. The flowers that thrive despite their environment, are truly inspiring, are they not?
I know what you mean, Flame. You feel kind of trapped here, don't you? I would like to do some gardening, though. Harvest. Turnip, mixed herbs, mixed fruit, yellow fruit, and berries. And we leveled up! Your supply of activity points for instructing and exploration has increased. You will now receive more monthly funds for activities. I'm gonna go with root vegetable seeds. Cultivate. It doesn't look like it increases it at all, but I'm still gonna go with the highest one, which I believe was pruning. I actually kind of glossed over it, I will admit. Let's see, what's this? A fish. I'm gonna do a little fishing. I want to increase my professor level some, so I'm probably going to use up all of my larvae and then go ahead and just move on. See if we get anything different. Ooh. Again, I missed just one. Silverfish. A somewhat costly fish that glimmers like polished silver. Yeah, not much. Oh well. Let's try again. No thanks. I'll go for this one. Ugh. Why is that so hard? I've done this so much, and I can never seem to get it right. Let's try again. Sure. There we go. That's a perfect. That's what I want to see. Golden fish, glittering fish. This fish boasts a high cost. See, I just need to focus and not actually talk, and that makes it a little easier for me to actually do something. I'll see if I get one more golden one, and then for the last one I'll just... Well, I guess I'm going for a regular one here. White trout. And last one. I'll try to go for a bigger shadow if it shows up. Just like that. Well, off to a great start. Alright. Yeah, I don't have any bait, which is fine. Stop turning around. Yuritsa.
What? I desired fresh air.
Nothing wrong with that. Just can't please you, can I?
I have a favor to ask.
Bring some reinforcements along to give you an advantage of battle. Try talking to the battalion guildmaster. I think that sounds like a great idea. I needed to come here anyways. What? But first, of course...
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report.
Nothing to report.
Have you talked with Catherine yet? If the knights are the cream of the crop, she's the cream of the cream. Oh, and that relic of hers. I hear it's nothing short of amazing.
Cream of the cream. Alright, whatever you say, man.
Professor.
We got some fruit.
Since we're heading to Castle Gaspar, that means we'll be passing through Magdred Way. The road is well known for its beautiful surroundings. Depending on the time of year, it can be incredibly foggy, though. When it's like that, you can't enjoy the lovely scenery. Lucky for us, it shouldn't be too foggy while we're there. Not that we'll have time for sightseeing, anyway.
That's unfortunate. This game can be, like, really nice looking from time to time.
Professor, your clothes are a bit dirty.
Rude.
I would have expected you to be more careful, seeing as how you're a professor and all. I hate when my clothes get dirty. That's one of the many reasons I find it best to train as little as possible.
If you say so, Hilda. Armored pike, earthworm, mint leaves. Oh, nice. Some stuff for fishing next time. Arcane crystal. Let's go ahead and talk to the battalions.
Thank you.
That's all you need to do to complete that, by the way. Just talk to them. Track how your battalion and those of others are faring, although solitude is the true battle. And you're just a bundle of joy.
At the Battalion Guild, you can meet battalions that aren't affiliated with the Church of Seros. We're allowed to hire those folks too, so be sure to visit the guild later to check it out. Naturally, battalions will lose endurance as they fight. You can replenish battalion endurance by visiting the Battalion Guild in the market.
A battalion whose endurance is reduced to 0 will withdraw, providing no benefits until replenished at the Battalion Guild. And now, we can finally do more with battalions. It costs very little, usually, to... It usually costs very little to restore battalions. Ooh, excuse me. And here, I'm going to show, is what I consider to be the strongest battalion, or I guess not battalion necessarily, the strongest gambit in the game, Stride. You give +5 movement until the end of the turn. There are some maps, I don't know if this route has one of those, but there are some maps where you use Stride on an ally, and they basically cover the entire map, defeat the boss, and then end the map in 1 turn. It is absurd, and I am 100% going to get Stride. There are several others here that we could do. Blaze is one that I really like. You can only use it once, but at the same time, look at that area of effect at the bottom. It is huge. Usually, like, you only get a small area in front of you. Group Lightning being a little bit of a exception, but Blaze. There are a few others similar to Blaze, but it is really good for very large areas, just to be able to cover them. Resonate White Magic is pretty good. it's not one of my favorites. That's all I'm going to do for now. You usually get battalions from quests and such as well, so I don't usually buy too many, but that's an exception. I will always go for Stride whenever I can.
Abyss? You're interested in that place, are you? Ancient sprawling remains deep below Garrick Mach. That's Abyss. Some folks have made their home there. Obviously, they all have their reasons and tales to tell. But only the most enterprising merchant would venture near it. My advice, avoid going there yourself.
Can I recruit?
Hey, Professor. Fancy meeting you here. I've got a business, I've got something I want to chat with you about. I know you're busy with a lot of things, but I was wondering if I might be able to join you.
Oh,
Heck,
okay.
I won't even charge you for my aid. What say you? It's a killer deal.
I don't like her voice that much.
Thank you.
But
Now I'll have plenty of time to get to know my clients better. A merchant needs to know the inner workings of everyone they come in contact with. Helps with the making of the monies, you know.
Hannah is going to work with you. I think that's actually a different line than usual. But that's fine. I guess that's one character I can check off the list. Oh, right, I haven't come here. Oh. Right, it shows you an area completely different. These are the stables.
Oh, hello, Professor.
Hello, Marianne.
Was there something you needed? Oh, you like horses? I like them too. They're such kind creatures.
You're so nice. I love you, Marianne. You're one of the better ones. Can't go in, unfortunately. There are typically main areas that you go to for finding lost items or just items in general, and I have some of them somewhat memorized, but I don't know all of them completely offhand, so I do still look around quite a bit. Hello, Dedue.
Best be on your guard.
Oh, okay.
After Fargus lost its king, there were many rebellions. It is likely that Lord Lonato's provocations are related. How frustrating that I am too young to take the throne, rendered powerless by age. If the throne is vacant much longer, the kingdom will fall to ruin.
You sometimes just have to wait. It's unfortunate, because sometimes you think that you have good ideas to help people, but you just can't do them at the moment. It's unfortunate.
It is a noble's duty to protect the common folk, not to endanger them by rallying armies in such a feckless and improper manner. Abuse of that kind is no better than slavery. A proper noble must guard the people from such a fate, wouldn't you say? Precisely why true nobility is well respected.
I get what you're saying. I feel like a lot of people don't really like Lawrence that much, and I could definitely see it. He's very grating, to say the least.
Invited me to train with her. How much do you think I should train before I'm ready to train with someone that strong?
Typically, if someone that strong is training you, that's the point, is to get you much, much stronger. Anyways, sorry, I lost my train of thought. I like Lawrence somewhat. He's hit or miss. But he's fun overall. I can't say I dislike him, but I also can't say that I prefer him over some others. Oh, I gotta go back and talk to... Oh, I gotta go talk to Claude, which I can't do just yet. I'll probably finish that off later.
Huh? Is someone there? What do you want? Sorry, I'm trying.
Yeah, not even close. Strength and bow. Strength is fine, bow will be a little weirder, but that's kind of why I went into fighter. Not because it helps, you know, increase, I'm gonna head up, no, there we go. I know the controls, I promise. I'm gonna head up to the Cathedral. Because there's quite a few things that I need to do here. I'm going to ignore choir. I'm sorry, guys, but I can't do choir. Would you like to read a note from the advice box? Well, give me a tutorial. It probably will, but I'm going to give my quick explanation real quick. You basically will get advice, or you will have someone asking for anonymous advice, and you will get a little silhouette for the character that it is, and based off of who it is, you need to give them advice that you think that they would enjoy. Let's see what we get. Each month, people will approach the counselor with their concerns. Select the responses that satisfy them and your support points will increase. Bleh. I believe that's Lysithia. Everyone treats me like a child. Please do something about it. Things will improve if you act like an adult. You shouldn't feel pressured to act older than you are. There's no use fighting. I think this one is the answer that she wants. And yeah, you are on a time limit. Dang it.
Thank you so much for your help.
I'm not great with them. I haven't really done it very often, so I'm not perfect. I don't know the answers very well, which is unfortunate, really. I'll probably try to start doing it more this playthrough, but hopefully I'll get better at it.
What's going to happen to Lonato? If he's killed, I don't know how I'll live with that. Huh? You're inviting me to join your class? I'm really flattered, honestly. But I still have a lot left to learn in my current one.
Charmin Lance. Lance is not that bad to do. Also, I know, it was the absolute perfect time to ask him to join my class, I'm sure.
Maybe.
Hello, monk.
Lord Lonato. He used to stay at the monastery rather frequently. He was such a pious man, a true believer. Such a terrible shame. I wonder what changed him.
Sometimes beliefs change. Give me 1 second. Alright, sorry about that. I sent a message to not be bothered and they didn't see it, apparently. They get upset at me when I don't answer texts and they don't ever look at my texts, but that's besides the point. Hello, Alois. Let's change the
Here
subject.
is the holy mausoleum where the saints of the Church of Sarah slumber. Sorry, but only a select few members of the church are allowed entry. It's open to the public on only one day of the year for the goddess's rite of rebirth.
Interesting. I wonder if that'll become important later. And who's over here? Someone in my class.
Yeah. Hello there.
Is it Lysithia? I had a feeling, but I wasn't sure, honestly.
Professor, it would seem that a minor lord in Fargus is raising an army. This poses a threat, obviously, but not one for the kingdom, for the church. I mean, Fargus doesn't even have a king at present. There's something
unsettling about this army. You had better ensure we're fully prepared.
I think we'll be fine. I'm not too worried about that. And instead of walking up, I'm going to teleport to the second floor. Alright, and we've got a couple more quests here that we should do. Oh, what's this? Sketch of a sigil. A drawing of a circle used to activate magic. It probably belongs to someone interested in magic and crests. Well, we know two people like that.
Did you hear? There's news of someone in the kingdom raising an army. The kingdom, the empire, the alliance. They do love a good war, don't they? Spilling the blood of young men and women. And for what? Just to enjoy the horror of it?
I don't think that's exactly why.
As to do me a favor?
You will receive faculty training from Manuela. Select the skill and start training. Note that accepting this quest will expend activity points. Yeah, I can't really change that, but it's okay, because Manuela is kind of exactly who I would want to try to do this with. I don't need sword. I would like faith, though.
I simply must thank you, Professor.
So, it's fun to learn like this, even as adults. How about we get others to join as well? I'm sure they'll be elated to participate. And that's how, if you noticed, Byleth has a budding talent in faith. And that is how you manage to increase that. Is he even in here? What could the crest be? It's not super subtle, but it's fine. Let's go to this side first. Really? Yeah, really. Let's see. Tomas. Hello, Professor.
Professor, I heard that you may battle alongside Catherine. Even among the knights, she is something special. A holy knight who is able to wield a hero's relic. Still, she can be a mite difficult.
She's... I wouldn't say difficult. I would personally say... headstrong.
Hey, you.
Which you could consider the same thing, honestly. But I see them as a little bit different. Hello,
Castle
Gerald.
Gaspar, eh? I've been there once before, many years ago. It was by request of the son of that family. Christoph, I think it was. I have a request.
Gerald dropped something. Search the monastery and find it for him. You should try looking for the near the captain's quarters that Gerald is occupying. I don't want to do faculty training right now. At least not with Gerald. I want to increase Byleth's faith. Wooden flask. A flask that gives off a strong alcoholic smell when opened. You seem to recall Gerald keeping it on his person. I'm gonna go ahead and talk to everyone else, though.
Believe it. This place has so many breathtaking works of art. I feel like I'm living in a museum. Each piece can teach us about styles and techniques from 1,000 years ago. I'm from a family of merchants, so I've been able to see a lot of art, but I won't pretend to be an expert.
It's fair.
Really?
You tend to absorb things that you stay around pretty often.
Pointing
Hello.
a sword at the Holy Church of Seros is akin to pointing a sword at the goddess herself, meting out appropriate punishment to the sinful. It is a sacred duty with which we have been entrusted. As a member of the church yourself, I hope that you will take that to heart.
Am I a member of the church, or am I just a member? I'm not actually going to do that. I want to use the last bit of it for a meal. A Elegant hair clip. A lovely gift for most anyone.
I can't believe it.
And let's go ahead. I can teleport there, I believe. Nope. Opposite side. Gotta get my Monster Hunter claw.
Thanks for your help.
Run and turn the camera at the same time. That was helpful. Feels good, doesn't it? If you come across any more lost items, be sure to find their owner right away. And I got gifts as well. Gifts and lost items. Use the gift option to increase your support points with others by giving them things they like. A gift will also increase an ally's motivation. You may sometimes find lost items around the monastery. Use the lost item option to return them to owners and increase their support points. As with gifts, an ally's motivation will also increase. As you've noticed, we have gone around and found many lost items. Not many, but we found quite a few. One of them we know is for Claude, and we know a few others as well. So I'm going to go around, and for this time, I'm going to make sure to... Excuse me. I'm going to make sure that I show who I'm giving what to. But for every other time I do this, it's either going to be while I'm doing other activities, like if I'm going around and talking to everyone anyways, I'm going to give them a gift or something if I know that they want it. Or need it, excuse me. But if I need to go around and specifically give people gifts or lost items to raise their motivation, then I'm probably going to fast forward through that. If need be, for this one I'll post it, or I'll show it, but for any others, if I'm going to be fast forwarding through it, I'm probably going to have a guide in the description for Serenus Forest, I believe is how you pronounce the name, where it will show you a list of lost items for every character and who likes what gifts, because that is pretty important for lost item. Leather bow sheath. Well, let's also look. Large physique. We know who that could belong to. Elegant hair clip. My thoughts are Dorothea or Hilda. I don't remember offhand, though. Tattered overcoat. Often finds themselves in fights. That could be Felix. That could be Caspar. That could be Catherine. It could also be someone else we haven't met yet, but we'll see. This, I believe, goes to Annette. And this could go to two people, but I have an idea of who it goes to.
I've been looking everywhere. Whew, thanks a million.
Okay. Increased motivation. I'm not going to give a gift right now. But let's see. I believe Raphael... He isn't there this time, actually. He's in the dormitories, apparently. It's a bit... The sections aren't perfect. So it says, oh, you know, he's at the dormitories. You're better off going to the greenhouse.
Inspirational.
Hello, Raphael. Lost item. Wooden button. Let's see. Elegant hair clip. Ooh, I'm actually going to save the wooden button. It is for Raphael. I will 100% say right now that the wooden button is Raphael's. But I'm going to save that for right now, because he has full motivation. And I don't want to use it and not get any motivation from it, because honestly, I'm probably going to be using... what do you call it? I'm probably going to be using lost items and such for motivation a lot more often. So... for this... I'm going to just wait for now. And actually... Well, okay, hang on. Let me... I have an idea of who else... Well... Where did I last see Annette? Is she in here? I usually remember seeing her in here sometimes, but I might be mistaken. Alright, okay, let's find Hilda. Where? Hilda's down here. Oh, apparently I could talk to Anne again.
Good deal. Hey, Professor. How's it going? Making lots of coin? I'd love to catch
kind of.
up, but I'm super busy right now. Working. For money. You understand.
I do. I don't have anything for Anna right now. But actually, since I'm here, I need to remember. I want to
This one?
sell the bullion I have.
Thank you. This one? Thank you. Please come again.
That's a good chunk of change.
Professor, your clothes are a bit
I know my clothes are dirty, Hilda. Shut up. Elegant hair clip.
Never seen that thing before in my life. Good luck finding the owner.
Well, that's disappointing. Alright. I actually think I'm remembering completely wrong who I need to give the I need to give the clip to. Oh, I thought I remember there being an item here. Hand-drawn map. A practical map probably belongs to someone who has known Geralt for a long time. I wonder who that could be. But Hanneman.
I'm sorry, but I must...
Yes, Manuel is very gross. I can't disagree with that. Sketch of a sigil.
I can't believe I left this behind. Oh, thank you so much for retrieving it.
Okay, let's see. Alright, the Sorcery Book. Where's Annette? Annette in the reception hall. Okay. I know what Annette needs. Annette is a very studious young girl. Lost item. School of Sorcery Book.
Oh, that! I thought
Did I
it was
read
gone
it
for
completely
good.
wrong?
How did
I
you know it was mine?
very easily could have. Alright, let's see. Where's Leone? Is it Leone? No. Where is Leone? Well, first off, okay, Ingrid's actually on the bridge. That would make sense. I forgot about the bridge. Where on earth is Leone? Ah, here. Oh, right, up north. Alright, let's go talk to Leone, because we know this map has to belong to her.
I'm studying here so I can be the best there is, just like...
Lost items, hand-drawn map.
That's mine. Thanks so much for finding it.
Okay, that's good. She needed more motivation. She was out. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna check Caspar first for the shirt. I just gotta freaking find him. I hope I haven't passed over him, like, twice. Wait. Right. Is he here? No, yeah, he is here. I remember. I'm just bouncing all around. I don't know where anything is.
Today's meal...
Lost item. Tattered
Yeah,
overcoat?
that's definitely mine.
There we go.
You really saved me with this. I owe you one, Professor.
Alright, then let's see. Last... Wooden button and elegant hair clip. Okay. think I remember the elegant hair clip giving me trouble in the past, so let me... Because I basically never come to
As a
Rhea,
member of the church.
except for...
Yes, that is sure.
Hey,
I
okay.
appreciate you bringing this to me.
Alright, and I'm going to save the large button, because I am probably... Because I now have control over what I want to do, typically what I do is Excuse me, I'm sorry. The first of the month is always exploring. That is 100% always going to be the case. Lysithia... And... Who do I want? I might do Ash. I think I'm gonna do Ash, because he's... Out of all of everyone here, basically... Well... No, I'm gonna do Bernadetta.
Eating delicious food really takes my worries away. Ooh, this is my favorite. You've got great taste.
Bonds among the three of you grew significantly stronger. Lysithia's motivation went up significantly. And my professor level goes up. And that's everything I can do. Can I check everyone's motivation here? No. Roster. Hang on, let me... No. Okay, let me... Goals? Oh, here's where I could do it. Lawrence needs more. Sylvain. I'm probably gonna go for Sylvain, give him a gift. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Sylvain, give him a gift, and then I'll end this for now. Is Sylvain up here? I think he's up here. Yeah, he's up here. I'm gonna give him a gift and end exploration for now.
I do. They repay your absolute love and trust with the same. I wish girls were so easy to deal with.
Whatever you say. Let's see. I don't really have anything that is... What do I... I don't think anything really helps Sylvain that much. What do I do? I'll just... Armored Stuffed Bear.
Thanks so much.
That was not worth it. That was not even remotely worth it. Alright, I'm just gonna end it here. Exploring, I mean. Ooh, this month will actually work out perfectly for how I usually do things. Gonna instruct manually. I'm just gonna do this, and then probably end the episode, because next time I will explore again for mostly for getting more activity points and increasing people's motivation. And then I'll have another battle. And then I'll go to the end of the month battle, which then I will be able to go into the next month and be able to increase everyone's motivation again. So, okay, let's see what we can do here. Lysithia. I don't really need to worry too much. I want to do Sylvain, but it's not even worth it, really. I'm just gonna stick to these four for now. Let's see.
It's starting to come together for me.
Just speed. I'm just gonna go ahead and speed through these. Ignots. Okay. I'm gonna work on his budding talent. That was average at best. Alright, let's see. Let's go for Claude's budding... Jeez. Claude's budding talent. And Lysithia... I'm honestly going to ignore her budding talent in basically all cases. I am, however, going to... Ooh, there we go. I'm going to beef up Lysithia's faith so that she might be able to learn some magic. And that's everything I can do this week. Group tasks, what am I doing? Alright, let's go ahead and start.
I would like to ask you something.
I would like to answer it. Ladies have been giving me the cold shoulder of late. I believe it's because they are intimidated by my noble presence. How can I be more accessible? It's either the first or last one.
Ah, so that's how it is.
That wasn't the best one. It was probably the last one. Well, not even probably. It had to have been the last one. Oh. Focus on reason or focus on reason to excel as warlock. Sure. It's basically the same, but why not? Oh. Anne's birthday. Oh, hey.
Thanks a million.
Sure. You're curious about how Lysithia is doing, go for a visit. If I'm going to do these, I'm going to do them in bulk. But that's basically a support conversation that was happening there. Lauren's birthday? Of course.
Come on then, let's get to it.
Yeah, that'll work.
And if I'm going to do a support conversation, I'm going to do them in bulk, like I did with Dark Deity.
Got it.
Increased.
Good to go.
Good job, Sylvain.
My efforts have borne fruit.
Very close for
Yes,
Anne.
I'm still growing.
Ooh.
I'm actually pretty good at this. I will master this.
I'm really getting the hang of this.
Wow, everyone. Alright. Did quite a lot here. Let's see how the support conversations are, because it looks like we're starting to build up some. Lauren's. Alright. Give me 1 second. Alright, never mind then. I just hope you didn't hear that. I might wait for one more, like, maybe after, because I'm going to go ahead and say that my plan for this is to go into a battle, because we have options here. We could do a battle in the kingdom, which is suggested level 4. It'll not only help us increase our levels and everything for the stragglers that we need to get up a little bit, but it'll also get us the reward of meat, which there are some things like this where you'll do a battle and you'll get a reward such as meat, which is likely the only place you can get certain types of meat, which is helpful in cooking. Whether that be sharing a meal or cooking a meal to raise your stats for the month. Battle in the Empire, where it's a similar thing, but it's a little higher level, and it's recommended that you be level 6, and you get gold from it. A little bit tougher. I might do it, but I'm not entirely sure. And then finally, there is the Auxiliary Battle, which you get this from essentially having the DLC, I believe. And its suggested level is 9, which is very scary. But if you do a few of these, like maybe when you're a little bit higher level, I probably won't be doing it because I'm a little scared. But if you manage to do it, then the gold that you will be getting is absolutely ridiculous. But that'll be it for this time. I'm going to go ahead and save. And I will be seeing you later.